G'day folks, here's my July collection update. G'day folks, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a collection update. Month of July had a lot of stuff coming. Whoops, I went a little overboard maybe, so yeah, this might be a lengthy one, but before we get into it I just want to thank Marty and Alan from Heavy Metallurgy for having me on a week ago. They had me on to do a discussion of our favourite Aussie metal albums, so yeah, I'll put a link to it below, but I highly recommend you check out the Heavy Metallurgy channel, because they got some bloody excellent content on there. So yeah, it was 3 hours, 24 minutes of us rambling on about what Aussie metal we liked, so I highly encourage you to watch it if you're into that sort of stuff. It was really good fun to do, slightly hair-raising, but no, I really enjoyed it, so thanks blokes, it was great. Alright, first up we have some stuff from Vic Records. This is Octobertide with Rain Without End. This is a sort of weird Catatonia related band. So after their For Funerals to Come EP, which was, you know, after the first album, Catatonia split up for a while, and yeah, Anders went off and did his Diabolical Masquerade, and Jonas did this band. He formed this with like Fred Norman, who's originally from Uncanny. He does all the guitars on this. Jonas does vocals and drums on this. So this is actually his final growled performance, because yeah, after this album they sort of got back together and did yeah, Brave Murder Day, with obviously with the Opeth singer. But yeah, this is a really nice little interlude that I still remember first hearing this, and it was like finding a lost Catatonia album, because it really sounds very blazing with Catatonia, which is no real surprise at all. I'd often always wondered who actually wrote the music in Catatonia. I mean, Jonas is credited with guitars on there at times as well. Obviously, Anders does. So I'm never really quite sure, but based on this, I'd say Jonas writes quite a bit of it. Because yeah, it's very similar to Brave Murder Day sort of era. So it's, yeah, melancholic doom with growled vocals. They'll still have a bit of their sort of Cure influence that they moved on to a bit later. Sort of, what is it, Losing Tomorrow's got some, you know, clean vocals and nice sort of ethereal guitar work. But yeah, most of this doom and gloom. It's great. I think it's 12 Days of Rain. The first one's just pretty bloody killer. I do actually already own a CD reissue of this with this like different kind of epoxy cover. I don't really like the cover as much, so I really didn't need this, but yeah, what the hell. I do very much like that original cover, so I think this comes on spiffy coloured vinyl as well. Not that that was a huge selling point, but what the hell. So yeah, very, very happy to get the proper version of this. I mean, it's not the OG version, but who cares. But while getting that, I ordered that from overseas, obviously, but just as a happenstance, I was in Young, New South Wales, like smallish country town, and went to their CD Revolution, which is, you know, sells, you know, stupid pop stuff and DVDs and some very few CDs, but the one metal CD they had was the second Octobertide album, that Grey Dawn, that I could have sworn I owned, but I checked my Discogs and I've checked my shelf since. No, I mean, I've had a copy of it for donkey's years, but yeah. So as you can tell, $9 later, no worries. All their CDs it was country town, so it was mostly just, yeah, pop music and country music and absolute crap. The only other passable CD in there for me was a Lisa Gerrard album that I already own anyway. So anyway, I was very happy and very random that I happened to get two Octobertides CD or albums in the same month, but oh well. I had originally kind of planned on getting the Peaceville reissue of this, but yeah, well, maybe I'll get it. I don't like this album as much. It's got a different singer. They've got Martin from Carnaris Quintet and this ending on vocals on this, and I mean, he's got a pretty good voice, but it's a bit too energetic and animated at times. There's lots of screams and growls, so it's still the right sound, but just doesn't quite suit the tone of the music for my liking. The music itself still pretty bloody good. It's still Jonas and Fred on this, and I mean, Fred also joined Catatonia after that first album, and he was on their stuff until 2009, so he's pretty much on all their really bloody good albums, so big part of Catatonia there. What is it? Heart of the Dead. No, one of these songs sounds very much like, I think it's October Inside, sounds quite a bit like Paradise Lost is obviously an influence on these guys, and I mean early Catatonia was I still remember hearing, what is it, Murder, I think. Maybe it was Brave. One of the songs off Brave Murder Day on a compilation, and just pissing myself laughing at just how precise the sound to Paradise Lost Gothic album was. It was hilarious. But at any rate, they're still trying a bit. I mean, after this they split up for like, I don't know, 15 years or something. They're back now with about 3 new albums that probably need to track down. Different lineup. It's still Fred, I think, but was it one of these songs? I think Floating has sounds like a theremin or something or other in it. So, and yeah, Into Deep Sleep is pretty depressing. Has a very depressing opening, but overall, nice little CD for $9. Can't complain. So, but yeah, I probably won't track this down on record. But first album, definitely highly recommended if you like any Catatonia. I mean, preferably the old heavier Catatonia, but it's a killer album. Alright, up next is one from Seance Records. This is Akhlys with House of the Black Geminis. This is a brand spanking album from this American band. This is a bloke from Nightbringer and Bestial Arcana. And yeah, the previous album, which I don't own, but I probably should, Melano, really quite impressed me. So I thought, bugger it, I'm going to take a risk and buy this one unheard. And it paid off, that's for sure. It's bloody killer. This is really quite intense black metal. But yeah, really good production. It's very sort of layered, full sort of sound to it. Certainly isn't your, bedroom Casio job at all. So yeah, it's pretty long songs. Like first song, Mask of Night Speaking, is like 4 minutes slow intro, but then it kicks in a plenty. There's like just killer swirling lead lines. What is it? Maze of Lobotomy has some pretty bloody killer guitar work. It swings from sort of epic slow bits, but they have a lot of explosive fast bits where it just kicks in and it's like, whoa, jeez. They do have a few breaks, like the title track is sort of, an ambient kind of piece. It's a bit of breathing room. It's not a bad idea, really, to tell the truth. I think it's, Sister Silence, Brother Sleep. That one immediately stood out to me. It's pretty much as good as Ephalates or whatever the song is on the last album, so yeah, very impressed. Through the Abyssal Door is another fave. It's got a bit of an Emperor feel to it. Like, the whole thing does sound a bit sort of like kind of Anthem's era Emperor, but I didn't really notice it on the first couple of listens for some reason, so, oh well. But yeah, it's pretty fancy stuff. So, and yeah, the ridiculously large booklety, three-way gatefold thing, shiny as hell probably, comes with this big ass booklet. They like red. It's all very red inside, which for a colourblind guy like me means it's friggin' hard to read. But oh well. And yeah, it comes on this fancy looking record, and the fourth side is fancy etched, which is a bit of a wank. But this album is pretty long. It's not like it's a one-sided 12-inch of a 12-minute grind album. So. But yeah, I was pretty bloody happy with this one. It'll take a few more listens to fully sink in, but yeah, bloody killer. Alright, up next from Overuse Records in Tassie, this is the first Abigor album, Verrüstung, Invoke the Dark Age. Yeah, this is their first album from 1994. For some reason I didn't already have even a copy of this. I don't know why. Like, I got plenty of their other early stuff, but not this for God knows why. But yeah, this is their very unique take on black metal there. Very distinct sounding band, that's for sure. It's not quite as intricate as their later albums, I don't think. It does have a bit of Dark Throne-y sort of feel to it on, Kingdom of Darkness. But for a band like, the demo is like 93, so they're really not that old, and this is pretty friggin' impressive first album, that's for bloody sure. TT's already doing his nice timpani explosive drum action, especially on, My Soft Vision in Blood. Yeah, I think it's In Sin has this slightly comical group screaming bit at the end, but Selenius, or whatever his name is, sounds bloody killer on Weeping Midwinter Tears. This one is the recent WTC reissue version of it, but I think the original has a different cover to that. And it's kind of weird, like, there's this sort of booklet and, little bits about each song sort of thing, and pictures of the band looking young and grim. doesn't even mention who they are, like their band name, members at all or anything. I don't know. I'm not sure if the original had that, but it seemed a little odd. I think they'd at least put TT on there and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, killer bloody album though. It's just, yeah, intricate black metal. If you know what Abigor sound like, you pretty much know what this sounds like. But yeah, highly recommended for if you like detailed black metal, you could say. Alright, up next is a tape I got off the band themselves. This is Grotesque Bliss with their demo 2024, I guess. It's not really labelled. Yeah, this is a Queensland band, so Australian band. This is Bjorn from Grave Upheaval and Temple Nightside, and Chris from Paramecium, Cryptal Darkness and The Eternal. So it's quite a good combination of those sort of two sets of bands as well. Like, sort of cavernous, death doomy, but has some classy sort of melancholic sort of leads on it. Bit of the early Paradise Lost feel to it, which I'm not complaining about in the slightest. It's not quite as sort of raw and scary sounding as Grave Upheaval, but yeah, you can definitely see the influence of both sets of bands. There's some tough as hell bloody riffs on this. It's nice little tape, J card with only half the lyrics for some reason. There's like 6 songs on here, but I don't know. So yeah, it's this really nice thick cardboard. It's very, very luxurious. So yeah, it's very. I really enjoyed it. They have like lots of slow riffs with fast drumming under it. It works really well. Although I think it's Sanguine Bebemus. It's a bit clunky in parts. This is still demo days. I think they might have recorded an album, possibly. Maybe it was just this that I saw reference to. But yeah, freaking killer stuff, right up my alley of, your death doom, slow, heavy as hell, deep growled vocals. How can you go wrong? Fortunately, their Bandcamp only has like 2 previous sort of rehearsal tracks from, 2022 or something or other. It doesn't seem to have this on it yet, so get uploading, boys. Don't know if it's on YouTube, but yeah, this really needs to be heard by more than the 31 pressings that they made of this. So, and thanks Bjorn for sending it to me. Yeah, I saw they played a gig and went, oh, how do I buy one? And just messaged him. So, yeah, haven't seen them live yet. Very keen for that. I reckon it'd be just spot on live. Can't go wrong with Death Doom live. But yeah, highly recommended. There'll be a link below to their Bandcamp, but yeah, hopefully they'll put this up there at some stage. Come on, boys. Because, yeah, this is well worth hearing. Alright, up next is some stuff I got from the band themselves. This is the Lord Weird Slough Feg with their Radical Man kind of compilation thing that just came out this year. This came out on Nameless Grave Records. It's a killer record label from America. Yeah, this is a kind of weird San Francisco heavy metal band. I don't know, I always read that they have these Thin Lizzy sounding bits, and then listened to Thin Lizzy the other week and went, oh yeah, that's right. It does sound a lot like Slough Feg. Yeah, this is a compilation of tracks from their early demos. So you get about 4 songs off Demo 93, 2 off Demo 92, 1 off Demo 94, and then Radical Man, the song itself, which was, I don't think it was originally released particularly. Maybe you could get bootlegs of it or something that's from 1997. So it's marginally irritating that it's not all the songs off those demos, and for some reason these weren't on the Slay Stack Grows CD compilation that had other demos. These guys are prolific. They're an odd sort of band though. It's I don't know, there's something, I don't see enough love for these guys. I'm always surprised that there aren't a lot more fans for these guys. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's a unique sound, but I've loved them ever since I put Traveller on for the first time and went, oh shit, that's good. But yeah, this is earlier stuff, so most of it's pre the first album. I think Radical Man is the only song on here after the first album, and it is a bit less demo sounding in terms of sound quality and writing itself. Very sort of hard rock, early 80s metal sort of style. And most of the songs on here were redone on the first 3 albums or so. So yeah, production's pretty good. It's a bit. Some of the parts are a little clunky, I gotta say. I mean, it is demos, and you do get this nice write-up from Mike, the main guy in the band, about how it was just a fun sort of era for the band, just experimenting a lot, and yeah, all these, look at all those flyers. I love a good flyer. So yeah, it's the old lineup as well, of course. So his vocals on this are a bit deeper, if anything, a bit more sort of soulful. But yeah, it's I'm very pleased to pick up this stuff because I'm still spewing. I got one of their previous albums, Digital Resistance. I swear I ordered it. I've got an email. I swear it arrived, and I've just never seen it since. I'm wondering if it's stashed down the back of my big stack of records over there, but who knows. So yeah, I got that, and also at the same time, because I thought, what the hell, the shipping's expensive, so I got this new Organon EP, which is like it's kind of like a demo version of the album New Organon of the same name. So you get 2 tracks. You get demo version of the title track, and yeah, a cover of The Police, the song Synchronicity 2, which sounds surprisingly good. They've Slough Fegged it up a bit. It's still metal and everything. So but yeah, he's no Sting, admittedly, but it's he kind of matches the throaty feel that Sting had on that song. I mean, it's a pretty legendary song. I haven't actually played this because it's got one of those stupid fat holes, and yeah, I think I have to go dig around in the shed for my really old turntable, which I think has one of those bits that you can put on your turntable to widen it. But yeah, so it's crap a sound really. His vocals sound great here, but yeah, the album New Organon, which I really like for later era Slough Feg. It's probably one of my more favoured ones. I don't know, they just sometimes they can be a little unfocused, but New Organon just, I don't know, it seems to be back with a vengeance kind of style. So very happy with this one as well. But as always, I always enjoy ordering direct from the band because he sends some weird and wacky stuff. One time I got like I'll see if I can find a picture of it. I don't think I have it anymore, but it came in this like glossy, silvery sort of packaging, and it's just weird. It had like some watchtower kind of ad for like some weird Christian thing in there, and all sorts of bits and pieces. This one's just got like a couple of ads, which is all good. Nice Lord Weird Slough Feg sticker, which I have several, but for some reason it also came with a hair metal crossword puzzle. So yeah, this is fill in the blanks with the band who perform the songs listed below. And I'm looking through it, and there's like Unskinny Bop, stuff that I know, but Youth Gone Wild and everything. And then I'm like, what the hell? What's Headed for a Heartbreak? Or thankfully, I'm quite happy in myself that I don't know the answers to a lot of these. But yeah, I really enjoy this band. It's quirky, weird old heavy metal by old guys in modern times. But yeah. This one, I probably wouldn't start with this if you hadn't heard these guys. I'd probably start with Twilight of the Gods Twilight of the Idols, I think. Or Traveller, really, is my favourite one. Atavism's bloody good. But yeah, all this stuff's pretty killer. And I was glad to get this sort of early work for them. Alright, next up are a batch I got from Televis Suicide from Perth, from WA. It's an excellent little record label. So first up, I don't know, didn't really need this. Is Innumerable Forms with their Despotic Rule demo. Didn't need this, but saw it and was like, yeah, what the hell. This is demo versions of 2 songs that were on their Philosophical Collapse album that rated very well for my one of my previous year top 20 albums. So yeah, as I said, completely unnecessary, but so yeah, what do you get here? Crapper version sound of the the album versions of Philosophical Collapse and Despotic Rule. So but yeah, still sounds bloody amazing in demo form, I've got to say. The solo on Philosophical Collapse is killer, and Despotic Rule just brings the doom with epic riff and furious sort of solo ending. So yeah, sounds obviously better on the LP, but still bloody killer little demo. The main reason I got suckered into buying stuff from Televis Suicide is because I saw this there as Dead Stare split with Far Left Limit. This is 2 Aussie bands. Dead Stare was a Sydney hardcore sort of band. Pretty friggin' heavy, I gotta say. It's like borderline grind or power violence sort of style. There's some blasts in this and just really aggro vocals. Heavy as hell sound. So it's mostly barks, but there's some growls as well. Yeah, definitely the reason why I bought this. They're very little. They released I still have this feeling I've got like a discography CDR somewhere, or I don't know, maybe Andy owns it, who knows. The other side is Far Left Limit. It was a Melbourne hardcore band with like Max from Agents of Abhorrence and Faceless Burial and Internal Rot, and Dave from Piss Christ. So it's pretty straightforward sounding hardcore, nice and angry sounding, nothing super amazing. I'll just show you the inside as well, because why not? Ooh, Fallout. So yeah, this is like 20 years old or something. It's been around a while. But yeah, I'd never picked it up, so I'm glad I finally got around to it, because yeah, just the Dead Stare stuff alone is worth it. I'd have to track down whatever their other split or 7-inch is. Yeah, good stuff. And finally, from Televis Suicide is Persecutor with Global Prison Experiment. This is I'd seen this cover art on a few distros and finally got suckered by it. Thought, check it out. This is really heavy power violence sort of stuff from Melbourne. So it's pretty bass heavy, pretty riffy, but there's plenty of fastcore bits on it as well. I think the title track's probably my favourite, but Leash is another killer one. It's got a powerful sort of slow ending, and the powerful line, "The most potent weapon in the hands of the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed." This pretty much sums up the theme of this record, I'd say. So yeah, it's nice cover art. What do you get on the inside? Band standing around looking tough, including a guy with the correct spelling of Jeff. Good work. And yeah, spiffy coloured fancy vinyl. So yeah, excellent little EP. I think I watched some live footage of these guys at the Tote, so yeah, there's footage of them on YouTube as well. But yeah, if you like your fastcore power violence-y sort of stuff, definitely check them out. Alright, up next are a batch that I got from Terrible Mutilation Records in Melbourne, who sadly I think are in the process of winding down, so sad to see. First up is Septic Fumes with their promo 2023. I got this because Anthony from Metal Miners, excellent little channel, I highly recommend them. He was ranting about how much he loves this one, so couldn't resist when I saw it. This is sludgy, horrible sounding death metal from LA, just how I like it. Really nice sort of groove on this, mostly deep sort of undergang style vocals, but some raspy screams and a bit of pitch shifter here and there, I think. So yeah, all you get is 2 songs on this, so friggin' killer, but way too short. This is the extremely rotten version of this. I think there might be a self-released version as well. Looking tough. I love that looks like it's been cut up with a pair of like very blunt scissors. It's very DIY looking. So, but yeah, Septic Fumes. I'm looking forward to more from these guys. There'll be a link below to their Bandcamp, which I think has this on it. But yeah, just nasty death metal. Love it. Also from Terrible Mutilation is Seep with Hymns in the Gore. This came out originally on Extremely Rotten Productions. Yeah, this is one-man death metal band from Maine in America. Yeah, I thought this was going to be something else, to tell the truth. Like, with cover art like that, I just assumed it was either brutal death or gore grindy sort of stuff. But yeah, it's listed as Death Doom, although there are kind of some slower moments that sound a bit breakdowny at parts. There's even some minimal keyboards that surprisingly works very well. I assume this is Drum Machine, because occasionally you can, there's certain rolls or fast bits or whatever that kind of takes you out of the spell a bit, I gotta say. Vocals remind me of, good era Chris Barnes, so no E's on this. I think it's, Addicted to Rancidity, that brings a sort of, doom chug, which works very well on this. It's just kind of weird reading like gory lyrics to just pretty much slow death doom. Is this gore doom, maybe? New style? I approve. I do like that he applies the usual I'm going to hack and slash you kind of thing to the song Pedophile Genital Removal, so good work. I approve. So not really what I expected, but yeah, I like it. It's pretty good. Also from Terrible Mutilation, this one caught my eye. This is Raw Noise Apes with this is their original self-titled demo. This is the repress on, what are they called? Septic Aroma of Reeking Stench. Yeah, I really like this, guys. It kind of reminds me of your, Gorbion Necropsy meets kind of like From Enslavement era Napalm. Damn fine combination, if you ask me. I think the crazed sort of rabid vocals are probably the highlight on this one for me. They're Has that slight sort of Mick Harris kind of feel to it in parts. Yeah, there's a picture of Albert Fish in there, charming. There's some weird goat sounds on there though, which is I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, I must admit I prefer the slightly later raw noise ape stuff, but yeah, this is still freaking killer. I'm glad to get this. I was trying to get the original, but nah, bugger it, this will do. And thanks heaps to Lockie from Terrible Mutilation for throwing in this freebie. This is Malformed with The Gathering of Souls, which, if you watch my stuff, I do actually already own this on record, but hey, it's good to have it on tape. This is the extremely rotten version on tape. Yeah, this is just, I've talked about these guys before. It's a very, very young Finnish death metal band. Sounds a lot like Cannibal Corpse in parts and has a sort of loud bass, which is a bit odd, but yeah, very happy to have this one. I'll give this a blasting on me fancy new tape player. Thanks. So thanks, Lockie. Good work. Up next is one I got through the band's Bandcamp. This is Moore's Forax with the Death Furnace, demo 2024. Yeah, this is a new death metal band from Mark from Shackles and Contaminated, and also Brendan from Snorlax and Descent, and I think both of them are in Feculent too. There's a pretty good little scene going up there in Queensland. Yeah, this is speedy death metal sort of stuff. Loud bass, kind of gives it a unique sound. I like it. It's weird. There's some slightly dissonant, weird sort of riffs on here as well, but an occasional dirgy sort of moments, but mostly just furious stuff. I love it. Mark's vocals are deep as hell, that's for sure. There's some Pain sort of scream style as well, but yeah, really good production on this demo. The drums are slightly too plasticky sounding. That's my only complaint on this, I gotta say. And I mean, hey, it's only a demo, so it's done in their lounge room or something or other, who knows, but yeah, excellent little start. I look forward to more from these chaps. Yeah, Moore's Forax. Alright, up next is some stuff I bought from Radical Blast, classic contributor to this channel, that's for sure. First up we have the Apartment 213 split with Nothing Is Over. Yeah, this is two power violence bands. Apartment 213 from Cleveland. This is stuff with Konya from Nunslaughter on drums. Rest in peace. But yeah, for me the highlight is always the vocals on this. Are just most raucing. When I think of power violence vocals, this guy comes to mind as just toughest singer in power violence, that's for sure. What is it? Gross Sexual Imposition is yeah, it's probably the highlight with this just killer groovy riff and explosive fast bits. It's pretty bloody short, I've got to say. You only get 4 songs from them and about, I don't know, you get 7 from Nothing Is Over. Yeah, Nothing Is Over is power violence band from Philadelphia. Pretty damn raucous sort of vocals as well, so it's a bit faster, a bit more hardcore, but yeah, really pretty bloody good. I knew nothing about them before this, so yeah, I'm very happy to get this one. Just short, intense songs. Yeah, another one that I haven't actually listened to physically because it's got a fat hole again. Oh, what's going on? Weird stuff. So, but yeah, I've watched the YouTube version of it. One day I'll dig that thing out of my old stereo once I've moved as many boxes out of the way. But yeah, nasty, raucous power violence. Love it. Up next is a release that Radical Blast put out with Tone A Records. This is Electric Self with Act 2. This is very odd, experimental electronic weirdness with funky bass and groovy drums. It's pretty strange. Yeah, the main song on this really, the main one that sold me is Narcissism brackets Chimp. And as you can see, there's like weird Michael Jackson with bubbles picture on the front, but with zebra style stuff over his face. Yeah, there's a film clip to it as well, like the song itself, and yeah, it's got like these Tism sort of style vocals and weird monkey sounds, but yeah, it's funky as hell and really, really quite fun. So I'll put a link to the clip itself below. Yeah, I kind of wish more of the songs were like that. The rest are sort of kind of soundscapey with, I think it's Black Box sounds pretty sinister in parts. I Want to Leave has sort of meandering guitars over sort of just ever-changing drums. And the drummer on this is Rama from like White Horse and Killat. and yeah, it does a bloody good job. I kind of thought I heard a bit of gamelan sort of style in there a bit, maybe, I don't know. Their Bandcamp is hilarious. I'll put up some pictures to it. There'll be a link below. But yeah, they've got like professional headshots for $100 of the band, and also yeah, you can get a NFT, a new fantastic toy, for $1,000, which is like a picture of Michael Jackson or something. I don't know. But it must rest on the banana if purchased. So yeah, there's some silliness going on there. I actually bought their Gastropod album as well, which is only digital at this stage, and yeah, that was pretty cool as well. But yeah, none of it was quite as good. That they need more of that narcissism chimp sort of style. It had a slight sort of Mr. Bungle kind of feel to it. So yeah, the whole thing has a bit of bungle about it, that's for sure. But yeah, happy to have this one on tape. Oh yeah, I should show you the inside. Very stylish cassette, and then yeah. Not sure what's going on there at all, but it's fun stuff. And finally from Radical Blasters, Oxidized Razor with their Los Vendedores de la Muerte. This is a Mexican gore grind band. I really love their split with Autophagia, so I couldn't resist this one. I've got a few of their other albums, I think, as well, but for some reason this opens with the Anthrax riff from like Among the Living. It quickly descends into chaotic sort of gore grind after that, and doesn't really look back. But yeah, it was odd. I'm like sitting there going, I know that bloody riff. So yeah, plenty of samples on this. You can't go past a good Return of the Living Dead sample as well. And yeah, they do like I don't know what's going on at the sample. They do a cover of a Machetezo song, and yeah, I don't know what's going. It's not in English, but it sounds like sort of porn and gore, or maybe I know what's going on in it. It's also got a cover of like Conform by Siege, but I think I really like the punky sort of Addiction Macabre. That's probably my favourite on here. But overall, just messy as usual. Like their stuff is chaotic, you could say. Sloppy, I don't know what's going on, but the only thing I whinge about is I kind of wish the vocals were a bit louder, which is a rarity in some bands. But yeah, half the charm, I think, is just how sloppy these guys sort of sound. It's just messy. It's great. Alright, next up, I got suckered browsing through the Bandcamp of Inner City Uprising, which is a Sydney sort of label. And yeah, I bought a batch of stuff, including this one. This is Iron Ghost with Putrid Spawn. This is a rehearsal. This is a Brisbane band. It's kind of scuzzy, black thrash, punky sort of sounding stuff. Not blasting, just sort of your Destroyer 666 level of sort of stuff. It's got KP from Parasitic Equilibrium and X of Unbound on vocals on this. Yeah, I mean, it's a rehearsal, so sound is pretty good. The guitars sound bloody good. Yeah, drums could be a bit louder, I gotta say, but... And unfortunately that cover art really is too dark on here. I'll put a picture of it up on from the actual Bandcamp, because it's a lot more clarity there. It's pretty cool. So yeah, I think this stuff would be really freaking killer live. It's just that perfect level. That black thrash stuff just sounds so good live. I don't know, it's just like Gospel of Horns. I hardly ever listen to them on record, because live they were just so much more fun. But yeah, I quite like these guys, so I'll be keeping an eye out for more from them. Now the one I picked up is Creep Diet's self-titled, I don't know if it's an album or a demo or whatever, but yeah, this is a sludge band from Melbourne. I'm kind of surprised I didn't already own this, to tell the truth. With a name like Creep Diets, unsurprisingly they sound a bit like Fudge Tunnel, who would have guessed? Also a bit of, I Hate God and Buzz Oven sort of added to it. So yeah, this is various members of like Carcinoid and Religious Observance. Waniac on here doesn't growl on here. It's more a sort of shouty hardcore style, but pretty powerful, that's for sure. This even has guest vocals from Jason V from Christbait on, I think it's track 2. And yeah, merges perfectly with this sort of style of music. I'd say they probably heard Christbait once or twice as well, but yeah, killer sound. The bass is very prominent on this and just beautifully gross sounding. I love it when bass is horrid sounding, but loud enough to hear. I think it's Parasitics, another ripper on here. Snug Lord brings this sort of slow crawling stuff until it kicks in with some yeah, noise rock kind of fun. This was recorded in like 2017, but I'm pretty sure this other demo came out beforehand. I don't know. It's weird. I've had that one for ages. I think I got that from Az. But yeah, it's just catchy, noisy, sludgy metal. It's killer stuff. I don't think I've seen these guys live, but I reckon it'd go alright. So yeah, we'll get some more from them at some stage. Also from City Uprising and released on their label is the Diabolic Rites, their self-titled EP. This is a black metal band from Adelaide. This has got like skits from Damaged and Sad X and Destroy 666 and a million other bands on drums. And I think it's the Iron Wars all guys on the guitars. They appear to now have Mark, the main guy from Elysian Blaze, on guitars, but I don't think he's on this. For some reason, this is like a reissue with some extra covers on it. So you get 2 original songs of theirs, Raped by the Church and Hell's Forsaken Bastards, which is, fast, nasty black metal. Just think early Marduk, maybe. It's just blast, tremolos, screams, all the fun stuff. What more do you need in life? And there's 2 G.G. Allen covers for some odd reason, but very black metaled up, but worked very bloody well, I've got to say. It's just a weird, perfect mix. This one also has a cover of Natafrost, which is the Carpathian Forest Dudes solo band, so it's kind of punky black metal again. Comes in this weird case that I don't have any other ones like this, but fair enough. But I don't quite understand this. This CD sounds different than the Bandcamp one. I don't know if they've been remixed or remastered or fiddled around with somehow, but it doesn't quite sound the same thing. So both links are below, so definitely highly recommend checking these guys out. I think they got an album or 2, so I might have to track those down as well, I think. But yeah, this one, quite impressed. And lastly from City Uprising is Arms Reach with their discography. So this is Newcastle, Australia, hardcore. After I pulled out there within Arms Reach 7-inch for my 7-inch grab bag video of a few months ago, I thought, man, maybe I need a bit more of these guys. This is freaking killer. I'm not really going to pretend I know that much what I'm talking about with hardcore styles and everything, but hey, this is catchy, killer hardcore, a bit of fastcore maybe, a bit of New York hardcore action. So very energetic, let's just put it that way. Even as a metalhead, I knew that the Newcastle hardcore scene was pretty freaking killer. So yeah, and these guys were the kings for a time. Amusingly though, after listening to all of this, the 7-inch that I own is probably the best material. So what the hell. Interestingly, the actual album that they put out, Death to Shallow Hardcore, sounds kind of crap, I reckon. I don't know, it's just quiet, the vocals are blown out, it just doesn't sound anywhere near as good as the EPs. But yeah, this comes with the studio stuff on disc 1, disc 2 is unreleased and live, and then disc 3 is the filmed stuff. I haven't actually watched the DVD part of it yet, but one day I'll get to it. But yeah, the studio stuff sounds pretty cool, most of it. As I said, within Arm's Reach, and it's another split that I think they did sounds freaking killer. Of the live stuff and unreleased stuff, the first 2 songs, what are they called? Rest in Pieces and Foundation. They bloody rule, are really nice. And they feature on the live stuff as well, I think. The live Wollongong gig sounds pretty cool. It's got some amusing sort of, between song banter and talking about farting in the mosh pit and all this stuff. But the live Sydney stuff, it sounds a bit wonky, really. The way too loud vocals, which probably happens when you've got 2 vocalists in the band. You do get a nice little sort of booklet with all 8 tons of lyrics and the band jumping around, but it's got a nice little write-up from some of the band members, most of them I think, just talking about the old days, and because this is all from like 20 years ago or something or other. So if you want to delve into the Aussie hardcore scene a bit more, you can't go wrong with this one. Alright, up next are a batch I got from various Discogs sellers. First up is Mandatory with Where They Bleed. This is their demo from like 2006. This is a German death metal band. Kind of has a bit of a Pestilence feel to it and maybe a bit of Bolt Thrower, but isn't as good as either of those bands really, to tell the truth. It's pretty meat and potatoes death metal, you could say. The drumming's a bit too simple for my liking, and it's slowly grown on me with several listens, and for some reason they got a cover of a Razor song on here, which doesn't really sound like Razor very much, but yeah, it's not too bad. This came out on Asphyxiate Records, old Aussie record label, which for some reason I've missed it all these years, but yeah, what the hell. So yeah, it's not terrible, but it's not mandatory. Yeah, I went there. Also from Discogs is Cemeterian with Tomb of Morbid Stench. This is Texas death metal, just the way it should be. So yeah, this has got like Daniel Sawblade from Blaspherian and Warmaster, and does lots of cover art. Also, it's got Francisco from Hyper Christians, ETD, and Thy Feeble Savior, and Matt from Blaspherian, and pretty much every other Texas death metal band. It's also in Oath of Cruelty now, in Cruciamentum and Imprecations. Yeah, they get around these boys. But yeah, just very heavy death metal sort of style. It's bit of your Scandinavian kind of influence, and just the usual US death metal sort of stuff. Kind of reminds me of Funebrarum actually a bit in parts. Oh, Funebrarum, sorry. As well as, obvious influences like Grave. It's not all blasting, but yeah, it has plenty of damn choice riffs, that's for sure. The vocals are a smidge loud at times, actually. I mean, they're deep and heavy as hell, and very effective, but just a bit loud, and sometimes I think it's malformed deity. They don't quite fit the music in parts. Don't know what's going on there, but yeah, really interesting drumming as well. So, favourite song on here is probably the title track, Tomb of the Morbid Stench. This has got a slow sort of chugging start, and just a mid-paced cruncher. Love it. I was glad actually. I'd been always meaning to track down the 7-inch version of this, but yeah, thankfully I was too lazy and eventually got this CD because it's got an extra bonus track on it, so can't go wrong with that. And the bonus track, Roted Altar of Mortality, is friggin' ripper as well, so nothing new, nothing amazing, but just great. Gives me that good death metal fix. Love it. Another one from Discogs, and another one recommended by Anthony from Metal Miners. This is Graceless, where Vultures Know Your Name. This one came out on Raw Skulls Records. So yeah, this is kind of death doom, or probably just slow death metal really, from the Netherlands. It's very much a mix of asphyx and bolt thrower, which is not a bad thing by any means. It's mostly sort of mid-paced chug. The solos on this are slightly too classy sounding, if anything. It's kind of weird. It doesn't quite fit the music for my liking, but still fine and dandy. Pretty long songs because they're not really in a rush to get anywhere, which I kind of like about it. I think it's Here Be Dragons is probably the highlight, with a stomping sort of mid-paced crunch on it. But yeah, this is their second or third album, I think. They've got a few, so I may have to track down more. I really like the cover art by Alex Tartrus or something or other. So again, not writing nothing too original here, I gotta say, but yeah, if I want my heavy death doomy sort of fix, this will be it. Also from Discogs is yet more stuff by Ruin. This is LA death metal. This is their Plague Transmissions Volume 2. So yeah, they do various compilations like this for all their 7-inch and like split tracks. This is all stuff from 2016 to 2019. So you get tracks from the Into Endless Chasms, Infested Death, Death Tomb, and they're split with Anthropic. So yeah, the differing sound quality on these, I gotta say. Some of them sound freaking great, but some are a bit average. They do a lot of releases, these guys, but it's always really good quality. There's something about their sound. It's just filthy, disgusting death metal, horrific, gory vocals. It's just tweaks me just the right way. Right, sounds a bit rude. Yeah, lots of sinister slow sections on this as well. Like what is it? Crushing Insects, I think it was. So yeah, you get like 18 bloody tracks on this. So it's pretty lengthy. It goes for a while. But yeah, there's just the right levels of horrible, deathly goreness. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I saw a Plague Transmissions 3 one out somewhere, but I haven't actually found it to buy yet, so maybe that was just a coming soon thing. But yeah, killer horror death metal. I really enjoy these guys. It's just filthy stuff. Also from Discogs is this 7-inch from this Aussie band Urgren. This is their Battle Skin 7-inch that came out on Invictus, like, I don't know, 20-something years ago. Yeah, these guys are originally from Brizzy, I think, and moved to Melbourne. I've had the Graven Sign, I think, album of theirs for years, but nothing else. They got like a ton of other albums. I think, I mean, the main guy, Bolt Thorn, is I think bassist and singer on this, but yeah, this one actually has the main guy from Moon on it on guitars, which I don't think he's on any of their other releases. But and it's also got Griffin from Astrial on drums on this as well. So very much your Destroyer 666 side of things, just kind of black thrashy sort of style, and they do well on the. They really capture the epicness on the title track, Battle Skin. There's also got a cover of Alskabom to the old Sodom song, so you can't go too wrong there. So nothing amazing. I do wonder about that cover art. I'm not sure if it's the same artist as the Bestial Warlust guy, but it looks very similar, I gotta say, that's for sure. But yeah, just an old 7-inch. I thought, oh, why not? I'll just add that to the cart. What the hell? And finally from Discogs we have Bombs of Hades with their Into the Eternal Pit of Fire EP from, I think, 2011. Yeah, this is HM2 Swedish death metal with Jonas Stålhammer from God Macabre and Autumno. So yeah, nothing new, but so their stuff's always killer, and I mean the guy's a OG, you know, God Macabre legendary. So yeah, I don't really always need original. I'm more than happy with some not exactly breaking new ground stuff. The title track's probably the highlight on this, but you also get a cover of The Day Man Lost, like the old Carnage song, which with Per Botta from, you know, the God Macabre vocalist on vocals on it. So yeah, that's quite a special little bit of this. I've got the first album of these guys and I've a couple of splits, I think, but I need to track more down. I don't think they're going anymore, but yeah, just crunchy Swedish death metal, it can't go wrong. Another thing I grabbed from Vic Records was Violation Wound with their self-titled album. This is, yeah, first album from US punk band, and yeah, if you didn't already know, they got Chris Reifert from Autopsy in it, so that's why I buy their stuff. He plays guitar and vocals on this, and really that's the main reason I got it. So this even has Danny Corrales and Eric Cutler do guest leads on it as well, so. But yeah, it doesn't sound really very anything like Autopsy particularly. He's still, you know, he's not fully growling like in Chris's vocals on this, but it's still a bit sort of gruffer sounding. Yeah, there seems to be 2 recording sessions for some reason, neither of which sound particularly amazing. Their later albums are way better than this, to tell the truth. The music's still really good, but it's just catchy, you know, very few chord punk. Yeah, which I kind of like with his slightly gruffer vocals on it, and it works kind of nicely. I don't think they're as good or as sleazy as Eat My Fuck, his other G.G. Allen kind of worship band that he had for a while. But yeah, this is still fun stuff. There's like catchy harmonica on Glue Trap, and I think it's Brain in a Sling's just great catchy stuff. So yeah, really enjoyable. I reckon this would be really enjoyable live. I'd say it's probably much better live sort of situation than on CD, but yeah, I'm happy to add this to my ridiculous Chris Reifert collection, so yeah, good stuff. Alright, we're going to round this out with some old school death metal mostly, pretty much my favourite. So yeah, first up we have Furball with the Forgotten Tapes. I got this from Vic Records, who also put this out. This is Swedish death metal, sort of. Yeah, this band had only 2 proper released albums, and then this. First album is, yeah, just killer Swedish death metal. I could have sworn I owned it, but I think it's my old flatmate Andy. He always owned it, so I'll probably just listen to his CD a hell of a lot. I'm very pleased to see that the Crypt's going to reissue that one, because the first version that they did of the reissues are not cheap, and neither is the original one, so yeah. The second one, though, I do own, the Autumn Years. That one is a bit more sort of death and roll kind of style. It never fully grabbed me, I've got to say. The earlier stuff was just pretty straight death metal, so but yeah, this one's actually a demo for their third album that they never got around to recording. Or something like it says it's got some liner notes in here, and it says that it's what was it? They were double booked at Sunlight Studio where they were supposed to record it, and then Johan, the singer, and I think guitarist left for these guys. He then he joined Arch Enemy and was on their first 3 albums, so they do alright out of it. He was also the original singer for Carnage, I think, when they were a bit grindier. So yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the main guy, so they just folded after he left. And yeah, it's just, they've always had a bit of a rocky sort of feel to it. I think it's what is it, Razor Blades or something or other. Oh, that must be on the first album. It was a bit iffy. And yeah, this is a bit iffy in itself. I mean, this is only demos, but I think that's probably what the album would have pretty much sounded like as well. He's got some weird kind of gothy style vocals. It's kind of reminds me of the sort of Lee Dorian, some of his Cathedral vocal experiments. Sort of like, you can't really sing, mate, sorry. But yeah, I mean, the music's still pretty good on this, and this actually feels slightly more relaxed than the second album, where they're death and rolling a bit on that as well, and it doesn't always work. So I think it's Now You Suffer is got a classic sort of melancholy riff on it through, and even some piano is probably the highlight on this, I'd say. But yeah, I do like the death and roll style, that's for sure, but you know, no problem with a bit of rock in my death metal. But yeah, this might not sit well with purists of death metal, that's for sure. I think it's Soul Under Siege has like quite the Paradise Lost sort of feel to it. The last 2 tracks they redo Desertion from the first album. And the last 2 tracks I don't know if it's the same demo or a different demo, they sound rough as hell. And yeah, he growls on the redone version that doesn't really work particularly well with their slightly newer sound. The last track is of the demo is an instrumental. It's pretty freaking cool, just doomy sort of style, but again really rough. The last 4 tracks on here are them from 1993, like it's live stuff from a festival that they played. And yeah, it's pretty much a lot more straight death metal. It's got like 3 songs off the second album, 1 off the first, and a demo song. And so yeah, Desertion on here freaking rules. It's a killer bloody song. It's really the highlight of the first album, I reckon. And I think Autumn songs, they kind of show their level of experimentation, and they're still finding their sound, the ones they use on here. And yeah, the old song is Hard Inferno, that is pretty good, but yeah, I mean, even the vocals are a bit iffy on the live stuff on the newer songs on there. So yeah, it's sort of almost a wasted kind of band in a sense. I mean, sure, he went on to Arch Enemy, but yeah, it's not a band I listen to very often. I would have liked to have seen a bit more of what these guys could do, although, I mean, that's essentially exactly what this is. It is the demo of their third album of what would have been. So yeah, I always find it weird, the Scandinavian let's all go rock and roll thing, which happened to a lot of them over the years. But yeah, I'm very happy to grab this one. And yeah, as I said, I'm very much looking forward to getting those Shredded Dreams on some format that isn't an MP3. So, but yeah, somewhat underrated band, I reckon, these guys. Alright, this next one's from Hell's Headbangers and more old death metal. This is Disastrous Murmur with their Skinning Beginning 1989 to 1991. Yeah, this is a compilation of their demo tracks, pretty much. This is an Austrian death metal band. Because I liked their Rhapsodies in Red album so much, I just saw this in the list and went, yeah, what the hell, I'll buy that. Just unheard. So, yeah, it turned out pretty good, I gotta say. This is, yeah, again, a band formed by the former guitarist from Disharmonic Orchestra. They've got a number of albums that came out, but that first one's still probably my favourite. So yeah, you get 3 demos on this. The Demo 89, Embryotic Utero Gestation, sorry. The 7-inch that they put out in 1989, Extra Uterine Pregnancy, and the demo from 1991, Flesh Is What I Need. So, yeah, good amount of tracks on it. The 89 demo, yeah, it sounds like later gore grind bands, who obviously took quite a bit of influence on this. Pretty friggin' average sound. So, but it's no surprise when you read the notes, it was recorded on like a tape player with one mic in the middle of a rehearsal room. So, yeah, it's never going to sound great. Good. Sounds really good when they're slow, but once it gets fast, it gets pretty friggin' messy. But hey, it's 1989, who cares? The EP is probably the better sounding stuff on here. It's got Extra Uterine Pregnancy and Lobotomy, Poisoning. That sounds much better, and I really like the slower version of Extrauterine Pregnancy because, yeah, it's just heavy as buggery, way better than the album version. And the 91 demo is, yeah, all 4 tracks from that are re-recorded on the album. It's a bit groovier. You know, Satisfaction in the Morgue has a bit of groove to it, which I kind of like. Even keyboards on it that sound a bit odd, I gotta say. It's kind of a shame this doesn't have the Where the Blood Forever Rains EP on this as well. I don't know, maybe it was a bit later than the time frame, or they couldn't jam it all on one record, but no. Well. Killer bloody art by Mark Riddick as well. Bloke draws a skeleton very bloody well. You do get sort of liner notes and some lyrics of their stuff. But and yeah, it's a fun little read, so yeah, more than happy to get this one. I may well track down a later album or two, but yeah, happy with this so far. Next one's from Nuclear Winter in Greece. This is Lobotomy with Where Death Draws Near and Against the Gods. This is 2 demos from this Swedish death metal band. Honestly, I never had these back in the day. I didn't even have tapes of them, hadn't heard them until, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, this stuff. Especially the first demo, though, Where Death Draws Near is friggin' killer. It's a demo from 1990. It was recorded at, you know, your classic Sunlight Studios with Thomas Skogsberg, and I believe Alex Helen from Entombed also helped out on this as well, so he was mates with them, and yeah, it sounds friggin' killer. Really good. Great echoey, deep sort of vocals, chunky sound, and really filthy sounding bass. That's always a winner for me. There's a really nice slow section in the title track where Death Draws Near, and yeah, this is friggin' very bloody good. Second demo is a bit sort of drier sounding. It's recorded totally different studio. Yeah, the drumming's better on it, but still not the best, really, to tell the truth. There's a bit of Slayerism going on I think it's Darkened Times. But yeah, this is a great little package, that's for sure. Comes with really cool liner notes from the drummer Daniel, and a bit of lyrics, and the band looking young. I probably should have bought the CD, Final Wrath, the early hymns of Lobotomy, because it has the 3rd demo and some live stuff, but I'm very friggin' happy with this. This really surprised me. I mean, I'd always heard they were pretty bloody good, but yeah, very happy with this one. Just that first demo, friggin' killer. Alright, these last 2 are from Discogs as well, and go in the category of, why the hell didn't I own this earlier? First up we have Sinister with Cross the Sticks. Yep, first album, Dutch Legends. I don't know why this is the first Sinister I've ever owned. I don't know, I'm not sure what's going on. I mean, I had like tapes of them and whatnot, but yeah, never an official release. I still kind of think this is like slightly B-tier death metal. I mean, this is from 92, so it's not exactly new, but I don't think it's too far off being top tier. And I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of fans out there would be yelling at me going, what the hell, that's one of the greatest death metal albums of all time. But yeah, I can definitely see the appeal. I mean, maybe it just sounds a bit too much like Deicide for my liking, and plenty of other US death metal. I mean, there's plenty of slow to mid-pace sort of crushing stuff, but this is actually faster than I remember these guys. In some ways, I do like the fact that I was kind of lazy in the 90s and didn't have unlimited money and couldn't download stuff like this, because yeah, every once in a while I rediscover albums like this, and it's like, oh, good. Now I can afford it, and this is just a reissue on Cosmic Keys from last year, I think. So I'm beginning to wonder. It probably doesn't come out on the camera, but it looks like there's like, I don't think it's water damage. Maybe it's the original art, but even the back looks all streaky. It's kind of weird. Maybe it's just because I got this friggin' bright light here, but it doesn't look. Looks a bit podgy, really, but yeah, so I do enjoy that every once in a while I can rediscover a band that I heard, 30 years ago and didn't buy anything of. Gorefest's another one. Yeah, prime example of one that I don't own anything of, or I really should. I think I do have False on CD somewhere, but at any rate, I like rediscovering classic bands that I should have known better. And yeah, this is a prime example. So yeah, this is reissue one. I very much like that photo of them just trying to look grim as hell, and I didn't quite realise this when I bought it, but it comes on ridiculous splattery vinyl, which really doesn't match anything on the cover, so oh, happy to have this. I might, I mean, I really quite enjoy Diabolical Summoning and Hate as well, but as far as Sinister goes, but I mean, still not top tier, but pretty bloody close. And lastly, another Discogs one that I could have sworn I had on CD at the very least, but obviously not. This is Unleashed with Where No Life Dwells. I'm not really going to ramble too much about this. This is a legendary first album of Swedish death metal blokes. For some reason, these guys never really clicked with me much back in the day, as I'm sure I rambled on the previous video where I got all their demos. Just wasn't a big enough fan for some reason. I was just into more intense stuff at the time, I think, and these guys are slower, more sort of galloping style, as it were. This is a reissue under license from Century Media on Funeral Industries. I think I was reading on Discogs, like, the quality of some of the other reissues is a bit shit, so this one sounds bloody killer, I gotta say. You don't get much to it, it's just like, you know, one inner sleeve. I don't think this is on, oh no, it is on fancy vinyl. Oh, there you go. Gold for some strange reason. Yeah, as I said, legendary album. I'm glad that I've finally got around to really liking this album. I mean, I very much like the second album and bits of the third album as well. For some reason, I don't have anything really much after that. Sort of nice-ish cover art, but I do prefer his other work with, like, Asphyx and Grave and Moonspell and stuff, so yeah. But, yeah, killer friggin' album, and can't go wrong with that logo. I honestly think they don't get enough love for that logo. It's friggin' killer. So yeah, another in my stupid why the hell didn't you already own this category, and this is it. So yeah, very happy to have this one. This will get blasted plenty, I'd say. Well, I'm sure that was a pretty lengthy video, so thanks if you made it this far into it. I have decided of late, maybe don't buy quite as much stuff, Jeff. You don't really need all of that, as it can be a hassle to listen to it all. But yeah, the August arrivals are still looking pretty reasonable, so yeah, it'll still be a decent video. Next video I'll probably shoot it rather soon while it's still vaguely fresh in my memory with the 3 gigs that I went to this week, which were friggin' great fun. And probably the merch that I got at those as well, so keep an eye out for that one soon. Hellhammer, Viscera Infest and Thou, friggin' awesome, bloody ruled. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers.